What if Deku had Bendy's powers, part 4? But I want to elaborate on something on the USJ I forgot to elaborate in the third part. I could have had Deku easily win that fight by teleporting back into the arena through a portal, or have him being sent out like an ink dummy. But people saw and witnessed him fly out of the arena. So if he had suddenly just teleported back in after being, sent out, it would have been, to the people's observation, technically cheating. Although he could have also gone into a portal and just come on out and just hit in the arena, but they saw him go flying out. So I gave the win to Shoto Todoroki. Now, we actually go on back to class where they're going to be talking about, their internships. As they're talking about what internships they've got, how many, as Bendy approaches, his classmates. I'm gonna say Juro, Uraraka, Ida, Denki Kaminari. Yeah, why not? As he approaches them. So what are y'all thinking about? Oh, we were just talking on what internships we might have gotten. Really now? Like, I was wondering on what internships I would get too. But I don't know if anyone would want someone with ink powers, but it'd surely be fun whoever I get assigned to, as long as they don't have one of these three elements. As the three are confused. 3 elements? Yes, fire is actually a weakness towards my ink. It can vaporize the ink in a really high quantity. Although it's probably the least, dangerous of the elements that can harm me, but still, it does pose a threat. What are the other 2? One is actually water. Normally, if I have enough ink, I can easily overcome a person with a water quirk quite easily. But if there's just a huge quantity, like, say the ocean, for example, my ink would dry out before I could even, try to make and use ink, because it would get washed away into the water. Alright, and what's the 4th? I actually don't know myself. How do you not know your other weakness? He just shrugs his shoulders. I don't know. Although I can do this, as he just falls into a portal and appears right behind Uraraka and taps her shoulder. As she turns around, I totally forgot you could teleport. I can do much more than teleport, as he falls in a portal, pops out with 3 more cartoon bendies, and start tap dancing. And this has the 4 students, Momo, it was Juro, Uraka, Ida, and Denki Kaminari laughing. One, because he literally just went in, came out with a top hat, came out with tap shoes and a cane, and just started tap dancing. So, yeah, I figured that'd be funny. Now, of course, Aizawa comes out this time saying, "Everyone, settle down. It's time to discuss your internships." As everyone's excited on who they got, and everyone except Deku goes to the same person for their internships. Now, this one took a lot of time and effort to think on who I was going to send him to, and I actually am going to send him towards, I believe the hero's name was, it's one of the side heroes in the story. He shows up in the heroes raiding the villain hideout, where the Nomu's All for One's main base, I believe, with all the doctor's stuff. It's actually gonna be the guy with the X-ray quirk that got decayed immediately by Shigaraki, a laser eye or something. Because why not? I just kind of wanted to throw that guy in there because I felt like he got a quick death and didn't have much storyline. So I decided to send Deku to him. Now, I don't remember the hero's name. It was probably, was it X-Ray or something? I don't remember the hero's name, so I'm just gonna call him the Laser Hero or something. As Deku is riding on the train to the Laser Hero's headquarters, as he's just scrolling through a little book, and he writes all of his imaginary thoughts. As we see some of the pages of this book that he's write, and we see some of the lost ones, we see a page of Sammy Lawrence, we see a page of Alice Angel, we see a page about Boris, and all that. So basically, imagine stuff from Bendy the Ink Machine in the book. He's just drawing and all that. Now we go to his mindscape, where, well, the Ink Demon and the Beast Bendy is going to be at. I think we should cause a little bit of a ruckus here. After all, we're way far away from any city, for the most part. Wait. No, we're gonna be doing hero work, or he is, so... we're gonna have to go on patrol. I was really hoping this would be somewhere far off so I could just slaughter some people. As the Beast One is like, just stares at him. Hey, what is it with the look? As it just moves its head to the side. As Bendy Deku's train stops. Oh, it looks like I've arrived. As he hops out. Now, I don't remember if I described his hero suit, so I am going to re-say it if I have not already. So he's going to have a white tie, a black suit, and white gloves, kind of like Bendy, but in human form. And that's pretty much it. I may give him a cane later down the road because I think it'd be funny. So he goes straight to the Laser Heroes agency. As he knocks, as of course he greets him. So you must be the UA student. Well, I'm glad you chose my agency. As Bendy's like, gives his thumbs up. I thought it'd be interesting working with someone with a laser quirk. Really now? So, I watched you in the, sports festival. You have an ink quirk, right? Yep. I can do a lot of things. You want transportation? I got transportation. You want, someone to be restrained? I can restrain somebody. If you want me to hit someone with a car? I can hit someone with a car. What was that last one? Nothing. Alright. Well, I know you're gonna have to put your bags up into your room I've set up for you for the time because they, lived near the agencies, at the agencies of the heroes for about a week, I think? So, yeah. Of course, he's gonna say, we're gonna head to Hosu as soon as you finish packing your stuff. Or unpacking your stuff. They're gonna go to Hosu City. And, of course, we're getting into the Stain arc today. As he puts his stuff away. He doesn't really bring a lot of his stuff, only some essentials. His book, and just regular stuff you'd find in a soup case. As, of course, his hero suit as well. As he puts his hero suit on, and he goes with the hero as they go to Hosu City. So, kid, how powerful is your quirk? The laser hero asks. Well, I can do a lot of things. I can really defeat a lot of people in the right circumstances. So I can tell one of your weaknesses is fire, correct? Yes. Although I can handle fire quite well with my ink. But if it's in a huge quantity, like how Shoto did so with a huge fire blast, it could overwhelm and evaporate my ink. But if I have enough of it stored, I could definitely beat him. Of course, he's just acting because he could have one-shot the fight if he wanted to. And truth be told, I'm actually letting him keep his, infinite power, which allows him to grow stronger and stronger and stronger. So I'm actually allowing him to keep that ability. So he's already grown stronger from the fight of Shoto Todoroki, where he could, right now, could have ease in his current state right now. He could easily defeat him. Because Bendy Deku has the ability to learn and adapt. And he can adapt to a lot of things. Well, anyway, the train arrives at Hosu. As they get off, they hear one of the trains that was attacked, and the sidecar was blown because of a Nomu. Of course, they hear the commotion and all that, and they start running over. Now, Bendy noticed something, and it was Ida running off, because he came around the same time where Ida, his hero, was at. As he saw Ida run off, where is he going? The battle is this way. As he decides to follow Ida. And he just simply follows without being noticed, just simply tagging along. As he arrives, and he hides behind, out of the alleyway, and just is behind a wall, as he just leans over and sees Ida fighting Stain. Isn't that the hero killer? As he smirks, well, things make it interesting after all. As he jumps into the air. Well, yeah, he jumps into the air, and then simply just kicks Stain in the face, sending him backward. Another hero, I see. As he smiles, and makes an ink top at, nice to meet ya. As Stain throws some knives that just go through Bendy. He can turn his body into ink. Stain tries to send several knives to cut Bendy. He makes a few, he takes this opportunity when the knives go through him. He allows the ink to go on them as well, so when Stain picks him up, and he's holding one, sideways in his hand, as he's preparing to, go in for another throw. An ink fist comes out of the, knife and hits Stain in the face, sending him backward a bit. What was that? As he then noticed that the hand that came out of the, blade covered in ink. So you have the ability of ink, I presume. As Bendy smiles, of course. Ink is a fascinating tool, you see. It can be used in writing. Let's see. Making items. And beating people up. As he just says that with a smile on his face. As Stain grabs his sword, as he's about to go attack, and a big fist comes out of the ground and punches Stain in the air. Of course, he manages to block it in time with his sword, because Stain has reaction speed. A lot of reaction speed. So he managed to block it as he was sent up in the air. As Stain's a little bit skeptical, he's trying to analyze the situation. How did he hit me? As then he looks at the ground where he was standing and realized there was a little bit of an ink spot that Bendy had sent without him knowing. So those ink puddles are like an extension of his body. I need to find where his actual body is. If I can just even get a little bit of his blood, I could easily defeat him. That's all going through Stain's mind. As he's on an air conditioning unit. As Bendy looks over at Ida, you might want to take him out of here. He looks like he needs medical attention. As he then puts like a nurse's hat on and has like a medical thing. And here's some medical supplies. As you know those faces people give when they're dumbfounded? That's what Ida gave. As he just grabs the med kit and grabs the hero and starts going out of the alleyway. You just sent out your only help, kid. I don't need any help. After all, you can't touch me. I realize I could have done something there, but I'm not gonna do it. As Stain goes to throw his sword and goes straight through Bendy, and it ain't covered in ink though, like his other weapons, as Stain's bouncing around while Deku's just sending a barrage of ink projectiles, which Stain is doing a pretty good job moving around, but he noticed he has to stay away from every spot Bendy has hit, because, hey, hidden attacks. Stain can learn from a mistake, and he learned that he doesn't want to get caught up in any of the areas that have been covered with ink. As he starts going fast over and over in the alleyway. Wow, he's a fast one. As then, Stain, uses one of his knives and seemingly decapitates Bendy Deku. As his head goes flying off. Sorry, kid, but it looks like this fight's over. As his head lands onto the ground. As he's looking around. That didn't do anything. As he looks back and just sees he's fine. Not even a scratch on him. As he looked back at, Bendy Deku's body that he presumably cut off his head. Just turned to ink. Did you like my Bendy ink clone? I know, it was an amazing idea. I came up with it a few months ago. Although I should have used it in the fight in the sports festival. Oh well, as he's talking, Stain grabs his sword and tries to go for another attack, which does cut him straight in half. It's just another Bendy clone, as a big fist comes over and hits Stain again, sending him towards a wall, where he quickly does a backflip to prevent him from hitting the wall. You're strong, I'll give you that. But as soon as I find your main body, you're done for. As Bendy just simply smiles. As we go into Deku's mind, where we see the Ink Demon just observing this. This guy's actually a bit fun, wouldn't you say? Yeah, I would say so. Should we take him out? I would definitely love to take control. As he's talking with the beast, Bendy, as it just makes some growling noises. I'm going to be the one that kills him, so don't get your hopes up. As it keeps, the battle goes on about for 5 more minutes. Ida's going to get help. The Nomus have been pretty much eradicated by Endeavor. We go back to the fight where this is where Stain is calling a retreat here. He's like, I don't stand a chance if I can't find his main body. And that other kid's obviously going to inform heroes. I better get out of here before they arrive. As he tries to go up, onto a roof. Before hitting a wall. As he's surprised as he falls down. And that's what happened. As he looks over at Bendy Deku. Oh, you didn't notice? As then he simply raises his hands, and it reveals that the entire roof area, or the alleyway above, where you could get on the roof, was covered by ink camouflaged to look like the sky. How would you do that? It's simply called art. Although it does take a lot of time to prepare for that, and I had to do it ever so slightly during the fight, so you wouldn't notice. So you were preparing that the entire time we were battling? Bingo! As Stain tries to go in for one last slash, but this is when Deku feels something. Huh? It's that same feeling that I felt when, the USJ. As then, the ink punches himself as he gets sent into a building, causing a little bit of a crater, as Stain is shocked. What just happened? As Beast Bendy Deku, comes on out. As Stain looks over, what in the... As he goes over to cut it, as he simply just makes a little dent in its arm, as it then just goes to hit Stain, but Stain jumps over it as it hits a building, breaking a wall. As it looks over, there's no way I'm winning this in this narrow fight way. As he starts then just trying to hit Stain, breaking the ground, breaking the walls, a right hook, left hook, hitting walls everywhere, breaking them. But it doesn't get noticed. So, as Stain tries to slash, does his best, trying to figure out where his main body is, because he can't escape because of what Bendy did. And this is where the heroes get back to the alley. They can't see anything, because Bendy covered the entire alleyway. So they just thought he's gone. They must have fled, took Bendy with him. That's what they thought. No, the battle is still going. As they keep on fighting and all that. as Stain is trying to regain his, thinking process, how to defeat him. As he knows, he can't leave the alleyway because of what Bendy set up. And the heroes can't get in because they don't see him and all that. And that same Nomu that was supposed to grab Deku in canon gets vaporized by, Endeavor. And this battle lasts about 5 more minutes before Deku's on the ground unconscious. The barrier comes down, they see Deku, and Stain, who is in a pummeled state with a bunch of bruises. His weapons are all but depleted and shattered. And that is really it for the Hosu incident. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Remember to like and subscribe for more.